My name's Alex Croft. I'm the creative director here at Kala Sangam. It's been funny, this archive project, like thinking back on all of the history of this amazing organisation. But when Jess came to me and was asking about archive adventures and what was important to me, like weirdly, the first thing that sprang to mind was the pandemic and the recent time that we've had, which, you know, was quite recent, but feels like a long time ago in a lot of ways. Thinking back, these photos and our return to the studio programme was the thing that, I don't know, made me most proud. So when we were thinking about that package of support that we could put together and going to the government for some of that financial support, we wrote artists into that project right from the off. And we came up with this kind of return to the studio scheme. And, you know, these photographs here, that's Zoe Katsaliru, you can see Akin Tucson Buck. You'll see now they're throughout the building, actually. We went out with this kind of package of support that was about just saying to artists, just come and have a week here in our building, and with no pressure. You can do what you like. You can work on a piece of work if that's what you want to do. But actually, a lot of the artists that we were speaking to, they hadn't, you know, particularly dance artists that we work with, they hadn't danced for months. Bobak Champion was the first person that came in. And just the joy of having him, me and Ifti and Bobak, the only people who were allowed in that space at the time, all wearing masks, and just giving him this space and permission to work on stuff. And, you know, it wasn't just those artists. Carol, our photographer, Carol Wazinski, who took all of the photographs, he'd seen all of his livelihood just disappear. So to be able to pay him to say, come in with each of these artists and take some photos, which are just this incredible reminder. Now, this set of photography that shows what we did during that time is such a critical part of our archive. Like, we're an art centre, we are literally nothing without those artists being in our space and creating that work. In the end, rather than 15, it was about 24, 25 artists that we had using the space during that time. Most of them with us in Bradford using our space, but there were some, Rukeya, I remember Yuval Soria in the northeast, who couldn't be with us. There were travel restrictions still at the time, and people had, you know, were homeschooling their kids and couldn't leave them alone. So we were also supporting people out in other areas. Kamala Devon down in London wasn't able to come up and be with us. So thinking about that national impact that it had, as well as people who were able to be here in Bradford. But then we've been left with this just incredible, powerful suite of photos that Carol took. You'll see them here in our temporary space in Bank House, but you'll see them when we go back into St Peter's House's Bradford Arts Centre. We want them to be on the walls because we want people to remember, not just people who are visiting, but us, the staff, to remember that time, because it was hard for all of us. But I feel like we actually made the best of that space, and we came out of it with, you know, some positivity and strengthened some of those relationships.